Well, it's that time again. Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another video of Langrisser, and we're going to doing another hero showcase video. This time is another character from Dead or Alive 6 collab, and this character is Nyotengu. Probably one of the interesting units to have on your roster. But there's a one flaw that I've seen here. So even though she is like a nice character to have in the game. She's usually not great for PvP, just like Kazumi, but not in the same way though, because she has the upper hand, which of course she has higher mobility, and she is a flyer, which in many cases it's great for moving around. But the thing is, she does struggle against archers. So yeah. Anyways, let's see what she's about. So this is at 3 stars. Her talent is called Hiten no Mai, which is a skyward dance in the Japanese language. And this is what it does. So it increases her attack and defense by 10%, but at max 6 stars, it'll be 25%. And after taking action, if on defensive terrain or if a skill was used this turn, she'll restore 15% of her HP and gains the buff of Heitan no Mai, which increases her mobility by 2, and this will ignore obstruction from enemy units when moving, and damage taken is reduced by 50%. And if you get hit or anything, you'll lose this effect. And also you can, and this also applies to, well, actually no, only if you like took damage. Okay, makes sense. Or after taking damage in battle, yeah. Yeah, after losing the effect this way, you can get it back after one turn. That kind of stuff. Anyways, moving on, let's see what skill she comes with. So at the start, she should begin with these two skills called Nawaki and also Lightning. These are two skills to start with. And let's check out her unique skill. So once the unique is an active skill, this one increases gains the attack increase by 20%, and Nawawi, which is the buff that she gets there. When actively dealing damage, deals 0.1 times AoE damage to all enemies within a 1 ring range and applies a teleport effect, which basically changes the position of the enemy's hit, and this will basically shuffle them around, kind of like Leon. And this will last for 2 turns, and she can act again with remaining mobility left. And after using this skill, any buffs on the caster do not lose their turn count, which is nice to note there. Most of the act again skills do like prevent the character who's using it to have the one turn wasted for nothing. But anyways, that the next one we have here is Juzu Kamade. Oh, Kumade, I mean, or Kumade, or Kumade. I think it's Kumade, if it's like in the Japanese pronunciation. This attacks one enemy, dealing 1.5 times damage. And after battle, increases enemy's damage taken by 20%, and this will last for 2 turns. When possessing the Hitan no Mai buff, deals 1.8 times damage instead, and makes the enemy cannot take action next turn, which is a stun, by the way. And this could go either way. Whether this will actually be just a typical one target skill, or if you have like that buff that I mentioned earlier, you will do a lot of work with it, which is absolutely nuts. And also, she comes with this skill called Koboshi Inago. And what this does is that it attacks all enemies in a straight line, dealing with 0.4 times AoE damage. When attacking, teleports to the furthest block or in front of the nearest enemy within range and applies a displacement effect. And this will push back enemies by 2 blocks. If there are other units or impassable terrain in the way, whatever is in the way, the pushback enemies cannot act on their next turn, which is a stun. kind of like you hit yourself against the wall, something like that. And this skill, even though it's basic AoE attack, this can be pretty devastating if used if used strategically, of course. And then Raging Thunder, this is the other skill that's pretty common here. And also, I forgot to mention about the factions in the previous showcase video. That I think it's already shown on the video itself without me explaining it. But anyways, I'm gonna give you like a rundown what Kazumi's factions are before we proceed with her real quick. So Kazumi's factions are like protagonist, meteor strike, and time. While Nyotengu is let's see, Nyotengu is the Princess Alliance, Heroes of Time, and Mythical Realm. And these are the class options, just like Kazumi. She also has one class route, so no runestones needed for her, which is a nice plus. And these are the skills you unlock along the way. Pretty nice so far. And by the way, this skill right here, Ride the Wind, this one used to be Claret's exclusive skill. Now Nyotengu is the second one, technically. The second one be able to equip this skill. What I mean technically is because Ares also have it, but this is under a buff effect in his 3C. So I'm not counting that as an actual like skill per se. This is that is a buff, not like a passive skill. But either way, they both should do the same thing. As for soldier selections, she comes with heavy cavalry, giant lizard riders, griffin knights, dragon trooper, mechanical dragon knights, and then war falcon. Pretty nice selection of troops here. Mostly flyers though. I mean, giant lizard rider is a nice touch to have. But I'm gonna grab Wolf Falcon because this does more damage, and also I got their skin. That's another reason why. As for the equipment, this is the gear I run her on. So, anyways, I gave her Sagel of Storms for the like a rag effect, but this works on both offense and defense, which is the one thing I like about this one here. And then for the enchantment, I go with Breeze for, of course, more mobility. As for Kazumi, the reason why I go with Full Moon for her is because like since I'm running Ollers, like that damage reduction has to get made up. So I chose Full Moon to like completely like negate that problem when I'm using her. But of course, is your build is your rules, of course. Anyways, and I also give her Gifts of the Depths for Nyotengu. This is what it does. So basically, this will make her even more menacing to fight against because she will take less damage the more she move. And then the George Feather Crown is a nice gear to have for her, but of course you can run the Fury tier if you have it. But I chose to run this one to like make her somewhat different apart from my other units. Like Bloodthirsty Nail is another option for you to get for her accessory, which will negate the active skill silence. But of course, the other options you can go for like let me see what other options do you have there. You could run T Star, but however, I don't recommend that if you already have like a fixed damage. But extra fix wouldn't hurt though. You could run Butterfly if you want to, but I personally would have her have this instead because I'm not gonna use her for PvP whatsoever. And as for the 3C, actually I should probably as for 3C skill, her 3C skill is called Hana Kagura. And what this does is that it does target damage, dealing 1.7 times damage, and this dispels 3 enemy buffs before battle. After battle, restores HP equal to 20% of the damage dealt and gains command. And this will basically have all enemies within 2 blocks with a reduced mobility of 1. And also, while doing this way, they cannot guard when they're nearby her with a command aura. And this will last for 2 turns. When possessing the Hita no Mai, this attack's damage is increased by 20%. If the enemy is not eliminated, all the unit's skill cooldown are reduced by 2 turns. Otherwise, can move again at 4 blocks, which is actually pretty nasty if you think about it. So this one enables her to become like a Grenshio's sword, or whatever that is, to prevent guarding. But this is only on herself, which is balanced, by the way. And she does a lot of those crazy stuff out here. Although she is great, but there are some flaws there because she is prone to die easily against like archers, like I said earlier. Unless you have something to protect her, otherwise she is not gonna do much for you outside in PvP. And this is what her animation looks like when you like use the skill. Looks pretty nice. Now let's dive right into what this what her stages are. I hope there won't be any difficulties here. I don't think there will be some difficulty spikes here, but we'll go in and see what she's about here. So anyways, here are our opponents. Azusa is our first one. Second opponent is Luna, and our last opponent is Kaguya. I guess that kind of makes sense because Kaguya kind of looks like Nyotengu for some ways, if you think about it. Alright, let's start the battle here. Okay, her summoning the cards. And since she has good mobility, we can actually attack the enemy already. But this is going to be rough though, because if we attack her now, she's going to... Okay, so I think we'll just stay back a little bit, because we do not want to get too close to the enemy side that fast. Okay, we'll activate this right now. I think we'll do this to prevent her from counterattacking. Well, not yet. Yep, stun her. Yep. And an AoE. Okay, and then we're going to do this. Oh, she's gonna range us. Okay. Fine by me. There goes Kaguya yawning. Okay, we took care of Azusa just fine, even though we did struggle a bit. Okay, here comes Luna. And there she goes yawning again. And just basically attack that and easily taken care of. Alright, enough yawning. For real though. Oh, you're not gonna move at all? Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the reason she doesn't move is because I'm standing on the tile where you won't be able to reach. Alright, let's activate that. And then I'm going to do this. Break that Shrine Maiden's effect. Yeah, not gonna lie, these two look familiar with each other. Kinda clever, Zilong. Clever. Okay. Now let's move on to stage number 2. Alright, let's see what we're dealing with here. So it looks like we have Kazumi right here. We also have Marie Rose. We also have Kaguya, which is funny. And also Nyotengu, of course. This is a mirror battle. Now we gotta assess who can do AoE here. So my Nyotengu myself can do AoE. You are single target, and you can do AoE. Marie Rose, AoE sort of, but it's mostly single target. As for the enemy Nyotengu, let's see. Mostly single target. Kazumi single target. Marie Rose, same thing. And then AoE. So the two units we need to watch out for AoE are these two, Marie Rose and Kaguya. And I'm not sure if the AI is smart about using the cards. So we're going to collect it ourselves. That card is too spread out. I don't want to get over there and get myself blasted already. But I have an idea. I can just well, no, that'll be a waste if I do that. Don't think she'll be able to reach me here, but yeah, you know what? Let's take the risk. Okay, it won't reach here. Okay, let's collect the card. That counts, even though I'm just acting again there. Push them back. Will I be able to hit them from there? No. I mean, I could hit one of them, but is that worth it? Maybe I should not doing that. Instead, I'll just do AoE on... I think I'll do AoE on Marie Rose. Well, no, not AoE. What was I saying? Melee attack into her. Okay, I did decent damage. And she is stunned, which is nice. AoE there. Breaks the last right effect. Do this. Alright, I'm gonna go right here and then beat the crap out of Kaguya. And I get to go again. Let's go after Nyotengu. Oh, not enough. Oh man, that pushback is absolutely crazy. And get to go again. What in the world? And then Nyotengu's dead. Jesus. Jeez Louise. That is absolutely crazy. Alright, let's use my cards. And then I'm going to, let's see. I can move back one block and then attack Kazumi from here. Alright, let's see. Okay, yep, got 2 cards, or maybe not yet. We'll attack that. Took her out, and Marie Rose is the only one left. Will I be able to hit her from there? No, I wish. Okay. Whatever. But we can range attack her, but not Kazumi. Almost.
天狗のように聞こえし力見せてみよう
Alright,
可
AoE
愛が
right
ってあ
there.
げようぞ
She's stunned again. Okay.
私に何を教えてくれるのあなたの財布もあれ
Okay, will I be able to AoE? Yep. Hopefully this finishes. Let's see. Would it be able
もっ
to?
と痩せた方がい
Indeed
い
it
んじゃ
does.
ない
Alright, let's check out that 3C. And then we'll take her to battle as a test. Well. Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this time we are on the battlefield. So let's set up our teams first before we proceed.
闇を払いますさあかかってくるがよい 遅い私がみんなを守ります
Alright, let's do this. Let's boost up Nyotengu real quick.
一緒に行きましょ
And then attack Shuri just to weaken
う
her a
祈り
bit.
の声を聞きなさい
Okay, maybe that was too much. Oh well.
さあかかってくるがよい
Let's activate this skill. And then we're gonna go all the way down here. And then activate that 3C.
可愛がってあげようぞごめんなさい運を使い切っちゃったみたい
Yeah, she does a lot of handiwork there. And my goodness, that was actually like she and Bright Summer alone they're both pretty dangerous when they're combined together. So, anyways, let's go quick out of this battlefield and I'll talk about how do I feel about this character. So I'll be right back. Okay, overall, Nyotengu is an interesting unit and she hits pretty hard. But here's the thing: she is not great for for Apex Arena, by the way, for PvP per se. But however, if you're into Waifu Wars a lot, then Nyotengu is a nice addition for your team, for that settings alone. Which finally there's something that Waifu Wars could use as to their as part of the I think pick 1 DPS I think, but anyways. Nyotengu is a nice addition if you have her already, or if you're a collector, then it'll be nice for you to get them all. Anyways, hope you'll find this video helpful or informative, and I'll see y'all next time. Hopefully, one more time for Marie Rose, and after that's done, I'll do some showcasing their voice lines. And see y'all next time.